All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our bonus night. I'm so excited to be sitting next to Michael Diaz. I picked her up from the airport. She flew in from California all the way to Iowa to do an amazing weekend of training and faces. We have over 110 faces confirmed and booked for this weekend, which is going to be so fantastic. But we have the privilege of having not only one of our good friends, but a brand new senior national sales director, Brittany Kaps, sharing her story tonight, and just a little bit of inspiration for you guys. And I know that if Brittany can do this, you can do this. If we can do this, you can do this. And so we want to just really encourage you to take the time to watch the video in its entirety, and so you can just be equipped with the bigger vision to share around the turkey this year. So I will go ahead and properly introduce Brittany. She just came back from the NSD summit, which is like leadership for nationals. And so Michael and I are both like drooling to know all of the details, but she won't tell us. She just says we need to be nationals and then we can figure it out then. So we're both very jealous, but here we go. So Brittany Kaps, who is a brand new senior national sales director, she started her Mary Kay business in June of 2009 as a full-time nursing student. Brittany became a sales director in March of 2010, just 8 months later. Brittany earned her Equinox in the same month that she debuted as a sales director. In June of 2010, Brittany earned her pink Cadillac and earned it exactly 1 year from signing her beauty agreement with Mary Kay, which is huge, and has been driving pink since. She's earned 3 pink Cadillacs total and will be picking up the 2016 pink Escalade, Cadillac Escalade in March. So fun. Brittany attended NDE and represented over 300 directors as the #2 director in her debuting class with over 20,000 in production her first month as a director. Brittany completed all 3 new director challenges: On the Move, Fabulous 50s, Honor Society, and Triple Crown Ring for accomplishing all 3 challenges, and earned herself $3,000 in bonuses, and was also Dean's List, so top 3 in her class of directors. She was the #1 director and Queen of Sharing for the Julie Krebs back national area in 2011. Brittany did Court of Sharing 2 times and Court of Sales twice, completed Triple Star once, and has been in the company Circle of Achievement 3 times, with her highest being the $500,000 unit club. Proudest Mary Kay memories debuting the Mission National area September 1st of 2015. That gives me goosebumps. And having Crystal Trojanowski as an offspring national sales director, who's our national sales director. So without further ado, Brittany, you have the floor. We are so excited to hear from you. And so take it away.
Yay! Awesome, awesome. Well, you guys, I am so excited to be with you tonight. Can you hear me, Rebecca? We're good?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Yay. Well, you guys, I am so excited just to be in your space. Yes, Crystal Trojanowski, your amazing, fearless, kick butt national sales director is my personal team member, my personal recruit. And so that makes me your senior son, your proud grandma. And I am just so excited to be with you guys tonight. Yes, I will give you the quickest version of my iStory ever, because I do have some really fun training that I want to share with you guys. But I started my business really very skeptical of the Mary Kay opportunity. At 23 years old, I was a full-time nursing student working 2 full-time jobs, going from one hospital from 6:30 in the morning to 2, and then another hospital from 3 to 11. And my life was insane. I did not need girlfriends, or so I thought, because I had a lot of friends and I didn't have time for them, let alone adding more. And so the Mary Kay opportunity was something that was not super attractive to me in the beginning. And I just thought, oh, that's cute that the people actually do this. And then I realized there was so much more to life, and I was missing some stuff. And what I was missing was joy and excitement and freedom and flexibility. And as a full-time nursing student who was struggling to get accepted into a program, I knew there was more to life. And so I started my journey, and like Rebecca shared with you guys, I moved up quickly in this business. I've moved across the country, not once, not twice, but 3 times in pursuit of my business. And I started my business as a young college girl who was engaged. And and now I am at a different chapter in my life. I am newly divorced and, not by choice necessarily. Last year was a little bit of a hiccup in my life. I had to go through a really just nasty divorce in a sense of it was not what I wanted. There's a couple reasons in the Bible why divorce is okay, and it was one of those. And so I had to just accept that this is where my chapter and where my life was. I'd already earned 2 pink Cadillacs. I'd already really just tasted success in Mary Kay, but I want you to know that along that journey came a lot of frustration, a lot of obstacles, a lot of just having to overcome stuff and truly focus on personal growth and being the best version of myself. With that, at the time, I will share with you, I didn't see it as personal growth. I saw it as like frustration and like, oh, this is not what I expected this journey to look like, and things like that. But now in retrospect, I can absolutely look back and say like, I totally needed to go through that. And I think sometimes as consultants and sales directors, we need to hear that, because sometimes we look at national sales directors and you're beautiful sales directors and you think, gosh, they're so pretty and their life is so perfect. And how does she take such good selfies? And her boyfriend's so cute. And, all these things. And you just compare yourself and you're like, she doesn't even know what struggle is. The girls never use that hashtag, And so it's like, but truly, they just don't necessarily share all of that with you because we don't want to share the negatives of life. We all have our dirty laundry, but I think it's important to know that we all go through struggles. We all go through frustrations. And the reason your sales directors are such phenomenal, successful leaders is because they've just had more obstacles than you. Truly, they've had more obstacles than you because they've worked and seen more faces than you and done more. And really, that's it, which is really exciting. And I think very liberating to know that, like, if that's it, I can totally do this. And so fast forward, earned 2 pink Cadillacs, loving life, and moved to Alabama for my husband's job because it was a great opportunity, and moved to Texas for my husband's job because it was a great opportunity, and then went through a divorce and realized, what do I do? And I was so, so grateful for the fact that I had Mary Kay. And where most women would have had to just kind of like maybe not get out of bed and cry themselves to sleep every day because the demise of a dream just occurred and their marriage is over and not by choice. And I felt empowered. I felt empowered to choose to overcome the circumstances, to choose to be a victor and not a victim. And I'm so grateful for the Mary Kay opportunity because I believe the Lord is what set me up for that. He set me up for the women that I got to surround myself, the successful choices that I had to be a success story and not another woman who, found herself destitute because of a situation outside of her control. And not that that's a bad thing, but women aren't normally set up for that. We're not normally prepared for dire circumstances. But because of Mary Kay, you have the option to pivot and say, heck no, this is not the way my story ends. Heck no, this is not where I'm going to let someone choose to take my victory from me. And heck no, God has bigger things in store for me. And that's then where we literally went from 3 first-line sales directors, and then we produced 9 sales directors in a matter of 5 months, 2 more second line, some cars in between, and 7 more beautiful first-line sales directors to finish our national area in the midst of a storm is what we produced. And I think that's so cool to know that in the midst of a storm that you can choose to overcome circumstances and you can choose to say, heck no, I am not going to let this be my story and I'm ready for success. And so I am so excited, you guys. This company is so rich. And when I say this company is rich, I mean it is rich with women, with love, with integrity, with just everything this company has to offer. Oh my gosh, I just wish you guys could be exposed to what I've been exposed to recently of just how amazing this company is. They shut down AT&T Stadium and brought all the nationals in. We got a private tour. It was so cool. They just pull out all the stops for us, and it's so fun. And what I do know is our company, we are losing a lot of our legacy leaders. We are losing a lot of our inner circle. They're all retiring, not by choice. They kind of get forced to. And so they're retiring, and we need you. We need you as leaders to step up in this company, to step into sales directorship, and then move forward into national sales director, because we are losing some phenomenal women in this company who now get to go on to that next chapter in life, but we need others to step up. And so I'm excited to share with you guys some things that I'm really passionate about at this season in my life. And really what this is just finding peace. I really am very passionate right now about finding peace and who you are, but expecting radical results because of radical determination, because you deserve it. And that's what my passion is right now, is just finding peace in who you are, because I know that it is so easy. Crystal Trojanowski is a beast. Okay, she is a beast. And she came into Mary Kay kicking up stems. And yes, she's my offspring sales director, and that was exciting. But when your offspring sales director kicks butt way better than you, that could be very defeating. Now, what I know is you cannot look to the left and to the right. And that is something I had to learn very early on in this journey. Is Crystal's amazing and she's a beast, but that's Crystal and I'm not Crystal. And I'm not Lily and I'm not Leah and I'm not Rebecca and I'm not Michael. I am me. And God created me to be who I am so that my story is Brittany's story. And so I will share with you guys, I know this business can be very exciting and exhilarating and amazing, but I know that it can be a little defeating sometimes too. When someone comes in, and I know Michael and Rebecca are both building leaders like crazy. And so someone might start before you or after you and move up quicker or whatever. And it's so easy to look to the left or the right and say, why? Like, why can't I be achieving as quickly as them? Or what's better about them than I don't have? And, you know, all those horrible thoughts that go through your mind, that's definitely not you. That's the devil. And so my heart's desire is finding peace in who you are, but expecting radical results with radical determination, because you deserve it. Because at the end of the day, we all deserve it. We all deserve the amazing life that God wants us to have. I truly, truly believe that. And so the first thing I want to share with you just truly is how comparison is the devil. And you know, whether you're religious or not, I am a very religious person, just because I know I wouldn't have been able to get through this last year without the Lord. But I will share with you that comparison is the devil. Whether we're looking at our moms groups, we're looking at our college girls, the sorority, we're looking at, you know, whoever's head of your chapter or whatever, and we are looking to the left and the right, and we are comparing ourselves, and that is the devil. I'm a twin. I think I've compared my whole life, and I still struggle with that. My twin sister, you know, she weighs 100 pounds soaking wet. You know, I think I have 50 pounds on her. Like, I mean, it's hard not to compare yourself. I know that. But what I also know is it's a conscious choice that you have to make to say that, like, this is my story. And guess what? Like, as long as you're looking to the left and the right, you are cutting yourself down, and it's not serving you. And if it's not serving you, it's not making you happy, and it's not making you money, then you don't need to be doing it. And that's just my motto. If it doesn't bring me joy, it doesn't make me money, and it doesn't serve me, then I'm not doing it. So I don't do, well, I kind of do dishes sometimes, but there's a lot of things that I pay out because it doesn't make me happy and it doesn't bring me joy. And so comparison is the devil. We all start with different reasons, with different stories, you guys. You know, truly, as a young, I'm 29 years old. I have 36 years left in this company as a national sales director. But if my story was similar to Leah's or Lily's or Crystal's, it wouldn't inspire you. And my story is very different than all of them. And your story is very different from the rest of the women in your units and in your area. And your story needs to be heard. And, you know, to me, that's very just exhilarating to know that, guess what, like, whether you are a brand new consultant, a seasoned consultant, a DIQ, or a red jacket, your story and your victory needs to be heard. But it has to be heard in a different route than your sister sales director or sister consultant or sister red jacket, because we don't want to hear two stories of the same. God created you to be you and for your story to be different than hers. And so you have to embrace that your story is different, embrace who you are, and embrace your journey, and that you have control of that outcome, and that, number one, you deserve it. I feel like a lot of women struggle with deserve level. We look at, we have jobs, we're moms, we've got kids, husbands, and we compare ourselves and we ask ourselves, like, oh, should I be investing this time into this? Should I be doing this? There's so many other things I should be doing. Yes, you deserve this, and you have to accept that you deserve success. You deserve happiness, you deserve gratification, you deserve the cheerleading around you, the sisterhood, the faithfulness of the women in your life. You guys, at the end of the day, I went through a really crappy divorce last year because of an affair that I was not excited about, but because of my Mary Kay business, I was able to get out of bed, cheer myself up, and the amazing sisterhood that was gathered around me. People join Mary Kay for the money, but they stay for the relationships, because this business is unlike anything else, and the relationships are irreplaceable. And so you deserve to be surrounded by women like that. Absolutely. Okay, so deserve level and comparison. Make sure you got those down, because you got to quit comparing and you got to make sure your deserve level is up there. And if it's not, then you need to remind yourself on a daily basis and affirm yourself that you do deserve success and you deserve to be there. The other thing I want to share with you is, are your goals backed up by effort? I think so many times as consultants, we're like, I'm going to be a red jacket, or I'm going to earn a pink Cadillac, or whatever. And your goal might be way up here, but your activity is way down here, or your commitment is way down here. And we've got to get them to where they're at the same place. Because what I know is, if your goals are up here and your activity is here, you're going to get frustrated and you're going to say, this doesn't work. Well, the problem is your goals are way out of caliber with your activity. And so you need to keep that in check. And that's where your constant communication with your sales director of like, hey, this is where my goal is and this is what I'm doing. And she can say, hey, I think that's an amazing goal, but we might need to reevaluate based off of your activity. And we might need to either up the activity or decrease your goal a little bit based off of your activity, so we can move up more progressively with that goal. And so are your goals backed by effort? You know, and you guys, I can say this as a national sales director, there was a lot of times where I was all talk and no action. And I love Leah and she loved me through those difficulties, but I was all talk, no action. And it's a frustrating place to be. And so if you're frustrated, evaluate yourself. Are you a little bit of all talk and no action? You know, like sometimes you have to humble yourself, have a come to Jesus and say, I am not working to my full capacity. I am not achieving what I need to be achieving. And you do. You change, you shift, and you make it happen. Okay. So I want to share with you, sometimes as fearless women, we tend to push away the things that bring us joy. And what I have found is there are two things that women push away in life when things get crazy. We're moms, we're wives, we're sisters, we're daughters, we're all these crazy, we have a million hats. And as women, we tend to push away things when life gets crazy. The first thing is our fitness. The second thing is your Mary Kay business that brings you joy. So the problem with this is your fitness is what's feeding you endorphins. It's feeding you just that health. It's that time for you, whether it's your fitness. I also believe like your quiet time is important. But we push away the things that really fill our cup. And when you're not filling your cup, but you're giving, you burn out. And then you get overwhelmed and you are deflated and you just like die. And what I know is, you know, within the past year, I've lost over 60 pounds because I chose to, and I don't say this to brag, but please know it's because I lost myself. I wasn't putting myself first. I wasn't working out. I wasn't doing my quiet time. I was literally working the rat race of my life. And I don't say rat race like Mary Kay was a rat race. I was just doing the same day in, day out. I loved my life. I loved my business. I was in a pink Cadillac. I was already tasted lots of success. But I lost myself because I wasn't making myself a priority. I got so caught up in the busy life that I put myself on the back burner. And so I had to bring that back. And so, you know, we get rid of the few things that bring us joy. And the second thing is your Mary Kay business. Why? Because it brings us joy, because we look at it as having fun. It's us winning. It's us cultivating an environment of constant happiness and winning, and we get rid of it. It doesn't make any sense to me, but we do. And that's where you have to really subconsciously remind yourself of that. Or what are the things that I need to do for me so I don't lose myself? What are the things that I need to do for me because it brings me joy? And guess what? When mom's happy, when the wife is happy, when whoever you are is happy, everyone else picks up on that. They feed off of that. And then it's a happy home. When you're not happy, people pick up on it. People are energy feelers, and they pick up on your energy, whether you're happy, you're negative, you feel frumpy, you don't feel confident in yourself. They pick up on that, and then that overflows into the rest of your life. And I will share with you, I am the happiest I have ever been because I made myself a priority, and I made sure that the things that bring me joy do not get put on the back burner. It means I might have to commit to less stuff. I might have to use the word no. I know it's scary, but I might have to say no to someone, and they might get offended and they might not like me, but I am my number one priority. If I am not healthy or happy, we're all going to heck in a handbasket. And so you got to put yourself first, and do not get rid of the things that bring you joy, because guess what, you guys, that backup plan is your Mary Kay. That security plan is your Mary Kay. If I were a nurse, when my life could have crumbled last year, I don't know what it would look like. It brings me like sick to my stomach to think about if I had to go to work for 12 hours a day when my world just got rocked, what that would have looked like. Absolutely. Mary Kay is your security plan. Whether you're dabbling in this or going full time, it's your security plan. So you have to keep your foot in at all times, whether it's part-time or full-time or whatever, but you have to be constantly feeding your cup for you with your Mary Kay and with your health. Those are things I'm very passionate about. one thing I see is when we don't do our Mary Kay, we're robbing ourselves of our dreams. We are absolutely robbing ourselves of a future and the dreams that I truly believe the Lord has planned for us. Like, he wants us to have that success. He wants us to feel those victories. And if you are not even just filling your cup with your Mary Kay, you're robbing yourself of those dreams. And we're letting outside influencers tell us what we should be doing or what we shouldn't be doing. You guys, I will share with you, I did not have a lot of support when I started my Mary Kay business. My mom thought I was crazy. We went an entire year not talking because she's like, what? You quit nursing school? I had already earned a pink Cadillac. I had to earn 2 for her to be like, this is all right. And then, of course, now as a national sales director, she's my biggest cheerleader. But she had to see me win. And I had to realize what they don't know is what they don't know. But guess what? They do not pay my bills. And they will not be the one raising my child, because I will be raising my child because I have that freedom and flexibility. And so I say, no, I love you and I will totally respect your opinion, but you don't pay my bill, so I'm going to continue to do what brings me joy. And we are robbing ourselves of our dreams because we're letting outside influence get the best of us. And so this is where you have to take your control, take your power, own it, run with it, and know that this is where we have to prove people's success. And it's not that we do it with a vengeance or, I'll show you. It's just that they don't know. Like, they are not immersed in the pink bubble like you are, unless they're a consultant, they have no clue what you're doing. And you are immersed on a daily basis, hopefully, on a weekly basis, hopefully, you are getting your pink cup filled. And they have no clue what you're doing. They just think you drank some pink Kool-Aid. And so they don't know. And so that's why you have to be safe and sound in your head and your heart and your mind and sold out on your dreams, or you're going to rob yourself of that. And so being 100% constant communication with your sales director, listening to your training videos online, calling into the $1 Million Message or whatever Crystal has available or your sales director has for you, but constantly immersing yourself in that. As a corporate employee, we, people, as a nurse, when I was in nursing, we always had to do education, always constantly education videos, CEUs or whatever they were. I try to avoid that chapter of my life, but constantly training, constantly getting educated. It is no different with your Mary Kay. You have to be immersed in this or you are robbing yourself of your dreams, okay? So I was doing some research, you guys, and this was very intriguing to me. So as a 29-year-old woman, I thought I would have kids and stuff by now, and I'm totally grateful for the life that I have and totally okay with not having kids this second. But what I know is I'm seeing a lot of corporate women wait later in life. And I was kind of interested in that. And then I was researching it, wondering why? Why are women waiting longer in life? My mom had twins at 19 years old. The thought of that makes me sick to my stomach. And I know times have changed, but what I know is that women are waiting a lot longer in life. And so I was researching this, and I have a statistic that I want to share with you guys, that corporate women who work for someone else, some big, huge corporation, 42% of women in corporate America do not have children and are struggling to get pregnant in their late 30s, early 40s, because they literally had to put their personal life on hold because they had to build a security. They had to build a security in this corporate America job because guess what? In corporate America, you're replaceable. In corporate America, there's someone else that can do your job better. And so they had to work to build this security, which really, unfortunately, is not secure at all because they do layoffs, things like that, but working till their late 30s, early 40s to build a nest egg and build time and that vacation and all of that, because God forbid you get pregnant, you need to take time off and you lose your job because of it, or whatever the case might be. Women are having to wait because someone else is delegating their outcome, and that was crazy to me because whether, today with success and today in life, we need dual incomes. It is the way that it is. Most people have dual incomes to support the expensive lifestyle, health insurance, all those things, which is nothing's wrong with that. I've always worked. I could never imagine myself not working, but the thought of having to wait later on in life to start a family because of the security that comes from a corporate job, because you have to be aware that you're, number one, replaceable. Your job's not 100%, steady. You're still new in the corporation or whatever. That makes me sick to my stomach to think that women literally have to put their life on hold because they need a nest egg. They need security. They need this. And so a lot of them can't even have kids because they're so further along in life, or maybe infertility or whatever. But I mean, we all know it's not easy to have a child once you're over 40. But these women are having to work. And then, okay, I finally feel comfortable and I finally feel like I might be ready to have a kid. We've got so much in the bank, or I'm now vested, or I finally put in my time, you know, and I can't even have a kid. That is so crazy to me. But I'm so grateful for the Mary Kay opportunity because you are your boss. That is your security plan. That is your opportunity to say, I'm not going to let someone else delegate my life or my family or whatever. And that is so cool to me. And I'm not saying corporate America is a bad place and corporate America is great. But looking at that statistic of women literally having to put their life on hold, having to put their life on hold for security and for income, and having to say, oh, I'll wait, to then realize that it's not. 42% of them can't even get pregnant now. That's so sad and that's so significant to me. But what makes me so happy is we don't have to have that. We don't have to have that. We don't have to wait. We have that option. That is so exciting to me. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Okay, so Kathy Halou, she's an Inner Circle National Sales Director. She is amazing. She is phenomenal. She rocks my world. And she shared a quote that I literally was just like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. And what she said was, it is so much easier to be an underachiever than an overcomer. It is so much easier to be an underachiever than an overcomer. Is that not the craziest thought? But it has so much truth to it. Why? We settle to be underachievers. We let ourselves set a goal and then we fail or we miss it or whatever because it's easy. Why? Because it's easy. Why wouldn't we choose to be overcomers? Why wouldn't we choose to find a way over, around, under that obstacle and make it happen? And I was just like, whoa. Like, talk about an aha moment, right? Okay. Okay, so another thing she trained on was something that I loved, and we're hearing this word a lot, and it's grit. And Kathy Halou had some grit this year. And so I want to give you the acronym that she gave us for grit. So it's GRIT, okay? So G stands for having a God-sized goal. What is your goal, you guys? I think it's so important to quit playing small. We cannot play small. We cannot afford to play small anymore. This company needs you as a leader. So we cannot afford for you to play small anymore. Your family needs you. They need that executive income. They need that free car. They need that stability. We cannot afford to play small anymore. So what is your God-sized goal? Okay, R stands for a radical goal. So radical, like, it's got to be crazy. It's got to be something way outside of your comfort zone. It's got to be something that you literally, like, really can't even wrap your brain around right now. It's got to be so big that you, number one, get chills or tears thinking about it. But number two, you know God's got to be there with you for that to come into fruition. You know that he's got to be there with you because this is a hairy, audacious, scary, radical goal. Okay, I is your intentional. This is where you have to be so intentional. You know, I love Rebecca and Michael's theme is that they're like, don't be a turkey, make things happen. You have to be intentional with your time. You have to be intentional with who you are, intentional with your goals. You guys, the reason some people give up on us is because we've given up on ourselves. You know, you might be all talk and no action, and they're like, we love you. We know you can do it, but you're not. And so they have a hard time believing you're going to achieve it because they don't see the evidence of you being intentional with your time, intentional with your work, intentional with your words, and intentional with everything that you do. So be intentional. And T is time sensitive. We have to make these things time sensitive. You know, it's so funny. You know, I feel like I was always like, I'm going to be national. I'm going to be a national. And until I made a decision and said, like, drawing a, you know, a line in the sand, now is the time. Like, no more wasting time. We don't have time to waste. And so your goal needs to be time sensitive. And this is where your goal might be, you want to be a national sales director. Okay, well, let's work on the goals to achieve that and enjoying that journey. So red jacket, DIQ, sales director, Cadillac sales director, trip director, national. Okay. And so focusing on the steps to that journey, making it, you know, a time sensitive goal based off of where you're at in this season. So like, first we need to get to red. Perfect. Do that this month. Then we need to, or DIQ. Perfect. Do that this month. Next month, you know, give yourself a month or two to become a sales director. Then you move up and you get into your cars and you do trips and, you know, but being time sensitive to what your goals are so that you can wrap your brain around that. Okay. This is another kind of like crazy thought that I heard that I absolutely loved, but why do people with less of everything outproduce the qualified? You guys, most success stories start with a lot of people who had to overcome. They had struggle. They had frustration. So why do people with less of everything outproduce the qualified? Like, seriously, it's because they're ambitious. They are starting from the bottom and they are sick of being on the bottom. So they move to the top, and that is most success stories. Most success stories are not like, I grew up a billionaire and then I maintained billionaire. I mean, like, that doesn't excite anyone. Most success stories are starting from the bottom and working their way to the top. And what's exciting is that's where most people start. Like, most people start in Mary Kay as a consultant. I mean, we all start from the same starter kit. $100, $85, whatever you paid for your kit. We all start at the same place and we move to the top. That's called a success story. And so you are no different from that. And you have a success story that we need to hear. Okay, so great grit development requires obstacles. Great grit development requires obstacles. You guys, I will share with you, my motto this year has been, if you are not hitting obstacles, you are not working hard enough. And that is my mantra this year, because what I know is that if you are not hitting obstacles, you're not working hard enough, you're not seeing the faces. And I truly had to visualize this last year, obstacles with like me and pink boxing gloves. And literally I'd see an obstacle and I would knock it out and be like, what's next? What's next? What's next? Because I knew I was getting closer to my goal. I knew that when I am working towards a huge, huge goal, opposition is going to be there. And so it was embracing, it was exciting. If I'm not dealing with obstacles, clearly I'm not doing anything. And I really had to work on my mind with that. And so, you know, true grit requires obstacles. Developing grit requires obstacles so that your story can be a story that can inspire. God does not need your fluffy, pink, rainbow butterfly story. He needs one that includes those obstacles so that you can inspire other people. And so true grit, you have to go over those obstacles. You have to deal with them. And if you can wrap your brain around getting excited about obstacles, being like, what's next? So I had 19 $0 parties in a row because I was not coachable. I did not use scripts. It's not something I'm proud of, but I will share with you that I need those stories to inspire consultants to say, hey, don't do what I did. Listen to your sales director. You know, she knows what she's doing. I didn't listen, but you aren't inspired by me telling you I had $19,000 parties in a row. You probably hate me if I told you that, because I would hate me if I told me that. And so you need to hear the obstacles to be able to say, I can have it too. And that's where grit is developed. A couple things, you know, again, I just truly believe that Satan will always take you back to something you haven't done. And what I mean when I say that is that he's constantly reminding you, didn't you say you were going to be a red jacket already and you didn't do it? Didn't you say you were going to be a sales director before and you didn't do it? Didn't you say that you blah, 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 blah? And he plays these mind games with us. Do not feed those thoughts. When you do not feed those thoughts, they die. What you pay attention to grows. And I think that's so imperative to remind yourself that's how the devil works. He wants to bring you down. He wants to feed you with lies. And so that you just give up. You just choose to be a victim. You choose to say, that Mary Kay thing wasn't for me, when truly God put that business opportunity and this amazing, amazing family and sisterhood for a reason, and you chose to say, I'm going to listen to the devil, I'm not going to listen to God. And I just think that's crazy, because he really does choose victor. He tries to victor over us, and this is where you say, no, not going to happen, not my story, I'm not going there. We are going to get to red jacket. I may have set that goal once, but I'm going to beat it down with a baseball bat this time and overcome it. I'm going to, whatever it takes, climb over, climb under, go through, whatever, I'm going to make it happen. And do not let those thoughts control you. Resist from him and he will flee from you. As long as you're not feeding it, he goes away. You know, I know that sounds silly, but it's just true biblically. Like, what we pay attention to grows. And if you entertain those thoughts, they stay. But if you get rid of them and you avoid them and you completely ignore them, you're not gonna have to deal with it, which I think is exciting. So another fun thing I love to hear is grit has nothing to do with feelings. Grit overrides feelings. Feelings we have to eliminate. Grit has nothing to do with feelings. Grit overrides feelings. And it's so true, you guys. There were plenty of times I did not feel like getting out of bed. I did not feel like doing this or that or whatever. And I had every reason to stay in bed. No one would have judged me. No one would have said, gosh, Brittany's being lazy. I mean, my world was rocked. but grit overcomes your feelings. And you have to say, heck no, I am not going to let this get the best of me. My feelings, I love you, but you're going to stay there, and I'm going to choose to get up and do something out of commitment and out of knowing that, like, I want to be a victor, not a victim. Whether your circumstances are dire or even as much as I just don't feel like doing it or whatever, you have to say, I'm going to do it anyways, even if you don't feel like doing it. Feelings are not an emotion. That is something that, you know, I've heard multiple times, and I love that. Feelings are not an emotion. You have to like be like, feelings, you stay there, you know, and you go do what you got to do. You cannot entertain your feelings. Like, as women, I think sometimes we're so handicapped. Guys think like men, and they think like business. And sometimes I'm like, dude, I wish I could think like a dude, because we get so wrapped up in emotions and feelings. And sometimes those really rob us of a lot of things. And so my last question for you, as I wrap this up, you guys, is what are you pretending not to know that is preventing you from achieving big? So what are you pretending not to know that is preventing you from achieving big? And, you know, tonight I did a call with my area, and I shared with them, I wanted them to write a quick little blurb on just a piece of paper and to send it to me. So if you guys want to do this, I would encourage you to do this. But I had them write down what their goals were. I had them write down what it was going to feel like to achieve that goal, and maybe some obstacles that they're going to have to go, you know, to get over to get through that. So what their goal was, what it was going to feel like to achieve that, and what personal obstacles they may have to overcome to achieve that, and really just having that in front of them. So what their goal was, what obstacle they may have to overcome, what it was going to feel like, and why it was so important to them. You know, and I think that having that in front of you constantly as a daily reminder, and even getting down deep and realizing like why I want this, what does this mean? What is this going to do for my family? Why do I deserve this? Why do you deserve this? You know, and telling yourself why you deserve this, and reminding yourself, I may have to go through a couple obstacles, but I absolutely do. So, my last statement for you is, if it is to be, it's up to me. So you guys, don't be a turkey for Thanksgiving. Be a victor and eat the turkey, but be a rock star while you're eating the turkey, and choose to really run with what your amazing, amazing, amazing leaders have in front of you. You guys, listen to them. They are phenomenal. They are rock stars. They are kicking butt, and they have so much to bring to the table. And so I am so honored and excited to be able to spend my evening with you guys. And I hope that I shared something that helped you.
Yay. Oh my gosh, Brittany. What I think I love most about, just because we both know you from, you know, before national and in this new position, but I love that we've been able to watch you grow through your journey and watch all of these seasons that you've literally talked about. Like, and it's been just so cool. So, I loved everything that you said, and I love the way that you said it with so much passion and so much drive. And, you know, it's obvious that you've grown your grit to a whole new level in your new position. And it's amazing to see. And I'm just so proud of you. One thing that you said that I can totally relate to is the whole fear, when you push things away that bring you the most joy. And I can remember back in seasons of my business where I pushed my fitness away, and then my business came very soon after that. And it's true. And so I was thinking, as you were talking about that, I'm like, okay, so let's think about those times where I wasn't working out like I used to, and this, that, and the other. And I had, not that it needs to be a scoreboard, but it was lower results, even though I felt like I was working so much more, but I wasn't doing those things that brought me that joy. And when I have that workout and that regimen, they go like this again. So it's so true, because not that it's the scoreboard, but you're getting the results because you're in a better mindset, you're in a better place, you're happy. So that's a big aha for me, to just kind of see that, think about it, reflect on it. And that was huge. So do you have anything you want to say?
I honestly, Brittany, I just love you. I can't say any like amazing words besides I'm obsessed with you. And I just have to say that listening to you talk, it's like when you talk, your passion level is just like, whoa, Like, I can't even think about what you're saying because I'm so engaged on watching and just hearing your words, if that makes any sense. And it really made me it reminded me that, enjoy where you're at in your business and keep going. And it's okay if you're at one stage, like what you're saying, you've gone through things. It doesn't define anything. And you just keep moving forward. And you don't have to, you just work. And you work, and Mary Kay can be your joy. So instead of pushing it away, find your win within it. And I think that so many people get so hung up because Mary Kay is not their job. So it's so easy for people to be like, oh, push it to the back burner. Where in reality, this business is going to bring you the things that's going to save you, and it's going to pull you and bring you back away from the devil when there's things that are in your way. And I think that a lot of times people don't know how to see that. And I just, listening to your talk, it's so nice hearing it. You were so transparent in that sense of the devil is going to try to get in your way and try to steer you out and away from this. And you just have to be strong enough to know and believe that you can do this and go forward. And I just love you, Brittany. I love everything about you. And I'm so appreciative that you took the time out to pour into us. And I love you to pieces. So thank you so much.
I love you guys so much. Anything you ever need.
Oh, you're amazing. You might regret that. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and shoot me a quick text. It's 530-383-0537. And then Brittany, if any questions do come in, would you mind doing a quick Voxer message?
Yep,
just
totally.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we are going to sign off, but Brittany, don't leave us just yet. So you stay there, but I'm going to off the live feed. But thank you so much, Brittany. We love you. Thank you for being our last person. And I know that everyone is so ready to just rock their success stories while they eat their turkey. So have a great night.